She paused in the middle of a bite, her fork frozen in the air, and looked at me with uneasy eyes. "Why are you so quiet tonight?" she asked, her voice gentle, almost hesitant. I didn't answer right away. My eyes remained fixed on my plate, absent-mindedly tracing meaningless patterns through the food as my thoughts kept spinning in endless circles. When I finally spoke, my voice was calm but carried a sharp edge. "I'm just thinking about what will happen when the truth finally comes out." Her smile disappeared at once, the warmth fading from her face. She forced a nervous laugh and lifted her glass of wine as though everything was perfectly normal. "What truth?" she asked, though the slight shake in her voice gave her away. I leaned back in my chair, studying her closely. For months, I had noticed every little detail. The late nights, the weak excuses, the unfamiliar cologne lingering faintly on her clothes. I never confronted her. Instead, I quietly collected one piece of evidence after another, allowing her to keep spinning her tangled web of lies. "I know," I said, meeting her eyes without looking away. The sharp sound of her fork striking the plate shattered the silence. Her lips trembled apart and her voice came out as a fragile whisper. "No, what do you mean?" But deep down, we both knew. She had convinced herself that I was too trusting, too blind, too loyal to question anything. Her trembling hand reached across the table, searching for mine. "It's not what you think," she pleaded, desperation spilling into every word. Desperation filled every word she spoke. But I pulled my hand away, keeping the distance between us. I'd struggled with this moment for weeks. Should I confront her? Should I walk away without saying a word? Or should I make her face the pain she had caused me? Tonight, I chose the truth. "I've seen the messages," I said. "The late-night calls, the weekends you claimed you were staying with your sister. I know his name, where he works, and even the hotel you two keep going back to." The color faded completely from her face. Tears gathered in her eyes, spilling over before she could come up with another excuse. She stumbled over her words, begging me to believe it meant nothing, that it had never truly mattered. But betrayal carries a heavy weight, and once it falls, it never simply disappears. I stood and walked toward the window, the silent space between us feeling heavier than any shouting match ever could. "I've already made my decision," I told her. Her voice cracked with panic. "What do you mean? Are you leaving me?" I gave her no reply, only silence. The silence she feared far more than anger. I'd been preparing for this for weeks, carefully taking each step, transferring money, finding a new place, and consulting a lawyer. Everything had already been set in motion with careful planning. At last, I turned back to face her. "I won't fight you. You can have what you wanted, your freedom, your lover, but you won't have me. Not anymore." Her sobs became even louder. She insisted it was a mistake and swore she couldn't bear to lose me. But she had already made her choice long before this night. I reached into my pocket, placed the keys on the table, and looked at her one last time. "This house, this life, we built it together, and you still chose to throw it all away. Tomorrow, you'll receive the papers. I'm finished." She stopped pretending. Rising from her chair, she reached out for me, her face overwhelmed with panic. But when I looked at her, truly looked at her, I no longer saw the woman I had once loved. She was gone, replaced by a stranger who had hidden herself behind lies and secrets. I walked toward the door. She grabbed my arm, pleading with me, her tears warm as they fell. But I gently pulled away, leaving her voice to fade behind me. Outside, the air felt different, fresh, sharp, and freeing, as though I had been drowning for months and could finally breathe again. The road ahead would not be easy, but it would be my own, untouched by her betrayal and deception. I never raised my voice. I never chased revenge. My quiet choice to walk away would stay with her far longer than any outburst ever could. I knew she would remain at that table long after I had gone, replaying the one sentence that had broken everything. "I'm just thinking about what happens when the truth comes out." Now she finally understood. because I had done the only thing left for me to do. I walked away, and I never looked back.